And good evening, League of Excellent Extraordinary Negroes. We are here this evening to talk about Star Trek Discovery, the fourth season, and looking at the mid season review. My name is Jade.
Hello, I'm Marcus.
Hi, I'm Julia, aka the Last Starfighter.
Are you petitioning to get into the remake? Is that your plan?
I think so. And it's not streaming anywhere. You have to either rent or buy the Last Starfighter now on Amazon and Vudu. Walmart
I might have that on a
it.
disc. I might have that on a disc here.
It's one that I always look for along with Circle of Friends, which is out of production.
Circle of Friends.
I'm sorry, what's that one?
Chris O'Donnell, Minnie Driver. Yes.
Yeah, with God, that was horrible.
It's so cute.
Missed it.
It's so cute. And Alan
I have never. When was this?
Oh,
This is in the 90s in Chris O'Donnell's heyday. It's so good. It cost like $40.
Wasn't he like Robin in one of those really terrible movies?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I know him from. So if he's done anything else,
Chris O'Donnell was back. He was Robin. Oh no,
he was Robin.
Yeah. I was thinking Robin Hood. You were thinking Batman.
George Clooney Batman. He was Robin.
Yeah.
And Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl. Remember?
That was awful. Yes, I watched it recently, and it was like, oh no, it's worse than I remembered. Although I will say, Uma Thurman and Arnold Schwarzenegger were great in that movie.
Yes,
the script was terrible, and they were not going to apologize. I'm like, all right, I'm supposed to chew the scenery here. Okay, that's fine.
But you never know. You never know how it's really going to pan out because Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl, but who would have thought that Paul Rudd would be Ant-Man?
Yes,
and would be so good. Clueless.
Okay, Ant-Man and the Wasp are my least favorite. They're not even Avengers, okay? They just hang out.
They are like the original Avengers in the comics.
What's wrong with hanging out?
I love Paul Rudd, so I'm gonna whatever he does, I'm gonna watch it.
Yes, he is ageless and cute, but the Ant-Man has just got to go. And why doesn't he stay big all the time? Like if he can go big, why not stay big
and be like the next? He's like,
he would have to eat like constantly.
That's okay. Metabolism.
They talked about like when he came back down to regular size, just like crashing for 3 days. It's just like you can't do it. You just get exhausted.
Right. No. Also, I know we're talking about Discovery, but have you seen Ghostbusters?
No.
The show?
The movie, the new movie, Ghostbusters.
No, with Paul Rudd, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting much. I actually shed a tear. It was really good.
Really?
Go watch this at some point.
Really good. I mean, there's enough because it doesn't just do what the other reboots do and just discount the first one. It brings the original story in. And then, pays homage to everyone that was there. Like, it was really, really good.
Really?
What service is that one on?
Well, I think it's, I don't think it's on any service yet.
I'm trying to find out if I have to pay money.
You would probably have to pay. I paid money. I just couldn't wait. I had to figure it out. I just had to figure it out.
I have to tell you, the last time I shed a tear was in Endgame at Tony Stark's funeral. I was devastated. Like I just I couldn't come up for air. I was waiting for Tony to come back, and now Stark Industries is so disheveled. I'm so upset. Like I mourn Tony.
Okay, well, before we get too far away from Star Trek, the Star Trek universe, let's talk about Discovery, season 4, Michael Burnham and the
Captain.
braids. The captain, she's a captain now. That happens in that first episode, I think, for season 4.
It happened right at the end of the prior season. They put her in the chair.
Oh, that's
And that
right.
was just
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Let's fly.
Let's fly.
Right. She said, "Let's fly." I like that. Okay, so the braids. How do we feel about the braids? Because I think that that's a character too.
You know, I think that this is a great compromise. This box braid wig that she has on, and it definitely is a lace front. Okay, that's clear to anyone who's had box braids. Okay, I know these things.
Okay.
But they have screwed up her hair for the past 3 seasons, and it's about time someone got it right. How can you not have a Black woman's hair right, natural on primetime TV in 2021, 2022? It took them too long, but I guess I'm satisfied now.
Hollywood is
Okay.
incredibly bad at that. I don't know hair enough to judge, but I do know that a lot of Black people end up doing their own hair or having their own stylist when they're on set.
Yes. That part. Okay, so the hair, thumbs up, thumbs down on the hair. Thumbs up.
Looks good to
Okay.
me. I don't know.
Okay, we're thumbs up on the box braids. Maybe they'll stay throughout the season. Maybe she'll switch it up mid-season. I
Please
mean,
don't. Please don't, Alex. Please don't.
Man, when she gets that little shuttlecraft and she gets rocked around and that hair just whips.
It
I'm
was
like-
better than that season 1. Her hair looked like Kramer.
oh well,
You remember?
Look,
I kept
she
thinking,
was-
why don't they just have her own hair? Her own hair is short
Yes.
and natural.
Because
But
she
you know,
wears her hair natural. Why not just have Sonequa Martin Green wear her natural hair? Unless she puts it up in protective styles, then show that. Just embrace her total Blackness and
Okay.
let her live
They
her best
were-
life.
trying to show her as Vulcan season 1. So it was, who knows?
Yeah.
Narratively, I can't defend it. It didn't look great.
That was Kramer hair.
But
That was
it
Kramer
was-
hair.
It's a lot of Star Trek hair.
Okay, so season 4, what's happening this season? We have another catastrophic event.
We never go small. If the universe
happens.
is not in trouble, it's not Discovery.
Yeah, and it's the entire universe or the known universe that is affected.
All civilized places are under threat.
Discovery and Discovery's crew is at the center of figuring everything out. And mid-season, there's a plot twist with we don't know what's about to happen with Book or this new life form or how to deal with it or yeah. And the computer has
Mhm.
feelings of its own. That's that's Star Trek season 4 up to mid-season.
It's a very brief synopsis.
I
Yep.
gotta tell you. Okay, so the bridge crew on the Star Trek Enterprise,
Mm-hmm.
Picard, Riker, Data, okay, sometimes Wesley until he goes off to school, sometimes Troy and Dr. Beverly Crusher, and sometimes Geordi works on the engineering console in the back, okay, along with Worf. So that is the Star Trek Enterprise crew. Can someone name the Star Trek Discovery crew besides Burnham and Saru?
Okay, so we're going to get to the who to. Hold on. Let's do what the score is first. and then
Okay.
we'll go to the who's who. Let's do the
I'm
score
waiting on it.
first. Get that out of the way. What score did you find, Marcus?
The Rotten Tomatoes score for season 4 is very interesting. The tomato meter from professional critics is at 92%, and the audience score is at 24%, which to me feels like a lot of people don't like what they're seeing because they have some prejudices that are influencing their desire to go rate this poorly.
The IMDb average is for all episodes this season is 7.1 out of 10, and it has a 53. I guess that's 53%. Yeah, 53% popularity score.
Okay.
Now, who's who? We got Michael Burnham, and we got a cute book.
He's not on the bridge crew.
He's not on the bridge crew, but he basically is. He's meeting it with the council. He's at all the important meetings.
He is her lover, which
he is a very concerned party at all of those meetings. It's like, is he the last of his planet? Potentially, unless people were off world.
Yeah, he's the last survivor of his planet, race.
He might be, but I don't know if they made that entirely clear. Like, somebody had to be off world. I mean, nobody leaves his planet once he go home.
Who are the other people in this show?
So we have Stamets.
Yeah.
We have Tilly. We have the doctor, Hugh.
The doctor has a name.
Hugh Culber.
His name's Hugh Culber.
And he is not only a medical doctor, but the ship's counselor as well.
That's true.
We have the young Asian man that was really happy to go out on a mission.
Young Asian man number 7.
Reese.
Bridge.
RHYS Reese.
Yeah, I don't know anybody else's name.
No.
Besides Saru.
They're all like Morn. Okay? We don't know anything about them. They just sit there.
Detmer's at the con. She's got the thing on her eye, and she had some PTSD stuff. And there's Osoku, who's never. I mean, she's great. They need to use her more.
Yeah.
Okay, it's season 4, and I've watched all seasons, all episodes, and I don't know these people because they don't tell me anything. And the one character that I love, that wisecracking female in engineering,
Jet Reno,
pops up every 4 episodes.
That's because Tig Notaro is busy.
She can't play with the kids every day.
I guess not.
So fun. I do love Jet Reno.
Yes. But this is a huge character development problem that Discovery has had since day one. They started out doing this Lower Decks type of show. Like, I'm talking TNG Lower Decks, the episode, not Lower Decks, the cartoon people. Work with me.
We understand you.
But I still don't think that they have developed. And as Burnham has moved up the chain of command, they've just sort of let these people go. And when this random guy dies, when hull integrity goes out in the hallway, like, I don't know him. Why should I care? Who is he? Moment of silence for him. He who shall not be named. Like, I don't know. Who are these people? I care not about them. And I probably see more of Adira and Cole. Gray. Yes, thank you. Yes. I see more of them than I do the bridge crew. I know more about them
less of them.
Your concern is the crew. Your concern is the show is not about the bridge crew like all the other Star Trek series is.
Well, it's not even about the non-bridge crew.
The story is not necessarily concerned with the data runnings of a starship or a space station the way Next Generation DS9 were. It's just a different show. It's got its own huge plot line it's worried about. And its characters primarily are not running the starship. They're involved in the larger plot. Except for, Gray and Adira. They're just...
I knew everyone on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, okay? Everybody would come in if it was the Kai. I know what the Kai likes. I know she wants Cisco to meet her at the airlock. I know when a Cardassian comes on the station, Gul Dukat waltzes on whenever he wants to. But these people, I have no idea who they are or what they do. And I don't care about them. After 4 seasons, I no longer care.
As much as I really do like Discovery, I do. But that is a problem because I don't know their names and I'm not invested in any of their stories. And it seems like they're trying to course correct a little bit because is it Reese?
Yes.
The young Asian American man who was so happy to go because his world was affected in the same way. What world is that? And why are we just now figuring that out season 4?
I don't know.
They really need to... Like season 4 is not when I should be figuring out that your whole planet was destroyed. Yeah. That seems like a pretty big thing.
The writers just don't do the work. They are, for lack of a better term, they are lazy in character development and huge, big swing for the fences in plot development. And I don't see how you can have so many intricate plots and not include the crew. Don't.
If you're focused on the crew, you're not working on the larger story. I mean, they made a choice.
No, it can be done.
You disagree with it, and that's fair. But they've spent a lot more time with, say, the new president, Willick.
Yeah, because I didn't remember her name either. Annie. I was just like, she's the president.
Oh, she just keeps showing up, though. And every time she shows up, you're like, I don't trust you.
But did you
You're
catch
doing a good job.
Kardashian?
Yes, she's Kardashian, Bajoran, and human. She's Kardashian, Bajoran, and human.
Biracial.
Triracial. She's a little bit of everything.
I still don't trust her. She's got that Kardashian blood. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards I want to trust her, but I just can't. And the Cardassian thing is a lot to swallow. And she seems to throw Michael in the middle of everything. And I feel like the last thing that she did in the season, mid-season ending. And she said, does anybody else have anything else to say?
Yes. And she had already goaded Michael into going against Book. Book was the voice of opposition, and she wanted Michael to go in there and sway people.
Well, but Michael's got the biggest voice. She's persuasive. She's done all these amazing things. When she talks, people listen.
But it was something about the way that Michael stood there, like she was in high school, like the principal is calling you out, and you're like, I don't know who you looking at, and she didn't say anything for a long time, and then finally she said, "I'd like to say something," and I was like, "Is this woman setting her up to fail?" She said
somebody else would say something,
right? It's like I understand that the president has to be, neutral, but I feel a setup.
I love the way they're writing her because she's so very calculated. She knows exactly the effect of what it is she's going to say and do before it even starts coming out of her mouth. And she's just like a horrible person, but a great character. She ratchets up the tension in a believable way. It's Star Trek politics.
But
okay.
But again, why should I want to watch her? Why do I care? I don't know anymore. Book can operate the spore drive. Does he? Like, Stamets is down there. Is Book just in there to have sex with Burnham and then walk around the ship with his cat? Like, I don't understand it.
Book has gotten more screen time than most characters in the entire show at this point.
Right. Because we will spend a whole 20 seconds with his eyes looking at her. That's 20 seconds that somebody could have been saying something meaningful.
The man is going through profound grief, and that's a lot of the point of this season. And it's just like, what's he gonna do about it when he finds out he can directly affect the people that caused him all this grief?
And one of the characters that I actually was invested in, Tilly, has now gone to Starfleet Academy.
I think she'll be back. There's no way they just take her off the show.
Yeah, I hear that she's still on the roster for the rest of the season, so we'll see her somewhere.
She was looking funny. I wonder if she had some kind of health issue. Because she looked
that I do not know.
She looked different. Like, she just looked different. Not the character Tilly, but the actress.
Mary Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
She was always cute and pudgy. What did she look like different?
It was just something. I don't know.
They gave everybody new uniforms and new hairstyles.
Yeah, I didn't like what they did to her hair. I did not like that at all. But
she just definitely evolved her character. She's one of the few people they did give lines and character development. And and so then they're just like, and she's off to Starfleet. Like, what?
See?
I was like, what's going on here? People, what are you doing?
When she told Adira, basically, get over yourself, give me the information. You don't get to do that. When she broke her down, when she asked for something and Adira got all in her feelings, I was like, oh, that's the Tilly I like. I like that because I'm sick of these little kids.
Yes, all of them. Like, they've all got to go.
Just so sick of these little kids.
But I'm also sick of Zora.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the computer now.
Well, we're in the who's who, and Zora identified herself with a female pronoun and has a name. Her name is Zora, and she has feelings and dreams.
Does she ever? It's kind of interesting. They're doing long form thought experiments here. You've got a computer that proclaims consciousness. How should the people react? And not just consciousness. The problem is the computer is has the computational ability of a college professor, but the emotional intelligence of like an 8-year-old just has no idea what to do with emotions.
A 4-year-old.
It's like, I know the answer. I'm not going to tell you.
She just got these feelings.
I'm not going to tell you.
We're gonna let a toddler tell us, no, I'm not going to give you that information because I know what you're going to do with it. What the? Shut her down.
And, go ahead. Go ahead, Marcus.
Very much reminded me of the Measure of a Man episode in Next Generation, where they're trying to determine if Data should be able to determine what happens to himself.
Right.
And this whole, I watching the episode, I agreed with Stamets the whole time. Like, dude, no, we cannot be beholden to the blinky light box telling us it's alive and isn't going to give us information. What else is it going to do? if it's moody now, if we don't give it its grilled cheese sandwich, is it going to kill half of us? I don't know. I don't want to be on the ship that's alive and has temperamental feelings when I needed to do things. Seconds count. I was like, well, we need to warp out of here. Let me debate the computer now. I'm not okay with it.
How many? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I had to go back to my TNG references because there were 2 episodes that sort of ring true. So when Reg Barkley took over as the computer, okay, they wanted him out. It was a person in control of the ship. And Picard said, we can't have that. I don't want to kill him, but he's got to go, right? And then in the final season, an emergence, we had the computer become intelligent. And we let the emergence, like, they had that horrible Orient Express and they were, chipping wood into the fire on the train to signal going to warp speed. Worf in there with the shovel. It was horrible, but, they allowed the computer to evolve and then it got the hell off the ship. It did not stay and the Enterprise computer went back to normal. So I'm waiting on them to let this thing off the ship and go. Like, you can't operate with a fully sentient AI ship. That's not going to work.
No.
It kind of feels like the writers swinging for the fence to try to get a Hugo Award, debating whether or not a computer should have rights. And you're just like, wow, they make this kind of stuff. It's like, but can we give the brown people lines? We can if your name is
that part.
We're doing okay. Honestly, Discovery does okay in representation, but man, there's a lot of time spent with the computer.
The computer how many times do we have to have this conversation about AI run amok? Is the Terminator a real thing in the Star Trek universe?
Every day until it happens.
I mean, there's never been a good story where the AI was in control and sentient and it's like, now everybody hold hands. No, I'm going to kill you because you all are crazy.
Oh, you're talking about Picard season 1?
What was Tony? What was the thing that
Ultron?
killed Ultron? Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. Ultron. I mean, this is basically Ultron.
Ultron was
on the ship.
Flawed concept.
But she did the same thing. She based her decision off of what she saw. That's what Ultron did. It's the same situation.
This is Star Trek and it's optimistic, so we're gonna let her stay. She's alive. She is the computer. She is the ship.
What did I say? Because I said Zora is a computer and a machine who gave herself a new core directive, who's been spying on the crew and created a value system based on what was observed. I'm
saying, when she said, I did, and they did that wide shot of the entire crest going, what? I was like, yes, I agree. We need to get off this ship. We need to get off this ship now. Emergency evacuation. Everybody get off the ship. It's alive. It's going to eat you.
It said myself. It's like myself. That's a computer. And then when she said at the end, I was too outdone. I feel seen. No. We need to destroy you. Because
as someone who works with computers, I am extremely skeptical of the concept that a computer could become conscious. I'm fine that it could emulate something that you might perceive that way, but it's a computer. It's boxes, it's lights. Take out the battery, unplug it from the wall. It's not a thing. It's just...
Okay. So what did we like this season?
I love the new president. She's interesting. She's like, when she pops up, you're gonna go, oh no. I get like Kai Wynn feelings like, oh no, she's back. What problems is she going to heap upon people for her own interests, serving the larger goals of Starfleet, but definitely her own interests this week? No matter what she decides, she comes out looking like roses. It's like, oh, okay.
Nick has a comment in the comment section. Have y'all seen that computer that got emotions? We're doomed.
I think that's every computer that has emotions.
Because computers are not supposed to have emotions.
Do you want to play a game?
Exactly. I was thinking that. Do you want to play a game? Yeah. That's where I learned.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Computers can be bad.
Like, oh, this mission is too important to allow you to sabotage it.
Right.
I still love Saru, and I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad we're done.
He was
with
only
most
gone
of the
for
people
a
on this
minute.
planet. He was gone for a minute, but it just. Oh, what do you think about his little relationship with the Vulcan lady?
She brought him
That's
salt.
interesting.
She brought him salt tea, so he brought her. What did he bring her?
A plant from his homeworld.
Oh yeah.
So she could have a little piece of him sitting on her desk, so she can think of him when he's not there. It's so romantic.
Okay, Saru is the poor man's Spock. All right, let's just put that out there in the world. Okay, he is not a Vulcan, and
He's not.
Yeah, he makes some bad choices.
I will say the one choice Saru made this season where I'm like, what are you doing? Is when Stamets and that guy are trying to simulate the DMA inside the ship while they're trying to evacuate some planet, and it's using up a bunch of power, and it's like, why have you let this go on this long? Why are you allowing this to happen right now? So Jet's like, that's the closest you've come to killing us all, and that's saying something. I'm like, I agree. This should never have happened. It's just Saru sitting there with the kill switch going, it's going okay, I guess. I'll listen to Stamets, I guess, until we all blow up. It's terrible. But otherwise, I love Saru. He's a good captain. I don't know what you want from the man. Ooh. I did not like that opinion. What don't you like about Saru's decision making that has you like this?
I think that he is overly analytical, and he really leans towards the non-graceful solution. Like there's always a gray area that he overlooks and refuses to settle into, which is why allowing Stamets and Tarka to do that experiment was outside of character for him. And that's supposed to show us character growth. I do not buy it. He will be back to the same poor decision making once he gets back, and he has weird feet.
He can't help his feet.
Weird feet.
What? That's character design, like makeup.
I don't know. He's just so. He seems to come to a conclusion that he doesn't feel confidently about. It doesn't come across as confidence. And to be, for any other captain, nobody would take that from Picard. That nobody would take that from Kirk. Make a decision, and that's one reason why Burnham is the actual captain, because at least she'll make a decision, and she's gonna hold to it. It might be wrong, but that's my decision. If you think I'm wrong, prove me wrong. I'm probably still going to do what I said, but I'll consider it.
There's a lot. The season is weird. I mean, it's like, it's got this big story, but most of the episodes were a story. So, I mean, you can't necessarily watch them out of order, but if you just catch one, it is self-contained enough. You've watched something that's livable.
Yeah.
But it's like the prior seasons were not like that at all. You had to watch them pretty much in order. It
Right.
was one story. I don't know. I I enjoy Discovery. I like this season more. This one feels more Star Trek than the prior seasons. There are full episodes that are almost purely philosophical. There's like a couple episodes in there where we
That's
didn't
true.
even have a ship, no explosions, nobody shot anything. It was just a lot of talking.
Because we killed everybody in the first episode.
Yes.
They did destroy a whole planet, and now we're trying to figure out what to do about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do like about season 4, they needed to reset. They needed to do something. They needed to do a big move. It has increased, I think, the likability of what's going on, the characters. It's now the new frontier, right? This is, you can hear Picard's voice and Kirk, where no man has gone before. You know, it's the 32nd century, I think. But it's still the same old cast of non-knowing people. I don't know them, and I'm still not invested with them. And they've been mostly the same since season 1, and I still don't know them. The one bright spot I do love, I like that Burnham has taken a lover. You know, like Kirk. You know, he's
Okay.
my lover.
Well,
I
It's
like.
good that you. It's
let's
I
good that
like.
go
you like
to
that.
loves and hates. So the extremes. I love this or I hate that. Does any of that apply to what you are thinking about with Star Trek this season?
I love Book. I hate that he's gone rogue and that might damage his relationship with Michael because she needs that. You know, for those first 3 seasons, he was like, she needs a man. Mm.
That's not what
Not a
I
Klingon
said.
man. Not a.
No, that was a joke. I'm all about women's empowerment. Do not come in my DMs and tell me that women do not need them because I know this. I know this, people. However, like, she needed to get laid. Like, she
Oh,
was
oh,
uptight.
oh
It's
dear.
a good thing that their relationship works for you because they're hinging a lot of this season on that relationship.
They are.
Like, does if you don't care about that relationship, there are no stakes for whether or not Book goes to jail for the rest of his whatever existence he's got. Because I
Right.
mean, you took out his whole planet, and you got nerve to be responsible somewhere he can get to. Mm-hmm. It's just not feasible that you would attack the civilization that has that kind of power. It's dumb. There are nothing but downsides.
I think that their relationship, I noticed it in the last episode when she's holding the cat toy, the
Yeah.
light cat toy, and the
Mm-hmm.
cat's not moving, but she's still going like this. The cat's not moving, but
Yeah,
she's still
that's
trying. And it's like that's the this relationship, this trying to bond with this cat that could clearly not care one way or the other where she lives or dies is is the thing that has not just softened her but gave her some zen. They're nice, soft,
grudge.
moments, quiet moments that are nice to see.
Well, the
That's it.
season opened with them trying to explain to the moth people that we keep grudge. No, she's not grateful.
You're you're
But
holding a queen. You're holding royalty hostage.
it's like, no, wait, oh no, oh no. I
You've
love that
offended the
whole scene. It
butterfly
was
people.
so ridiculous. But even though that scene was completely absurd, they paid it off later where you've got the representative from that planet at the Federation meeting saying, hear them out. They're they're not hostile. We just don't know. Gotta give them the benefit of the doubt long enough to see what
Right.
they're about. I don't know. It's one of the things Star Trek does that I like.
Yes, I do like that, but I am really tired of the children.
Yeah, I could probably do with less of Dira and Gray. It's not even that their plot line annoys me. It's just that they're not. It's not. They're not doing anything with it.
Not doing
Where is
anything.
this going? What could this turn into? What larger implications could it have? It's there's nothing there. It's just they're here doing their story bit this week. I'm like, okay, let's get Gray
Right.
a body.
And
Have we got Gray a body yet?
it's a lot of time spent just talking to them, just listening to them just talk. They're not working. They're not making a cake. Gray's not trying to learn anything new in to be a part of the crew. Just we're just
They're
talking.
advancing the Zora plot line every now and then. You're just like, yes, another plot line.
Oh, yes, that was something else I did not like. When they come in to plead Zora's case, I wanted the analytical man to be like, hold on a minute, who are you? And how did you this is a private meeting. Get
Kovic,
out.
yeah.
Like,
Cronenberg, his job at that moment is to decide what to do with the sentient ship. Those were people that had relevant testimony. So he's like, if this computer was able to form a bond with these people, I want to hear from them. At least for scientific curiosity's purpose. I don't actually care about any of these people. They can all just burn.
what happened to protocols?
He's doing it.
They are lax.
Anybody can just go in any meeting. Book is on. He's in the middle of all of the meeting. Where is the privacy? This is why Zora has lost her mind.
I mean, if you really want to get into it, how come the people at the Federation meeting, the ones who aren't even in the Federation, get to vote? Navarre appears to have 2 votes. There's a lot going on.
Did you catch all of the people in the union that are in person and remote? Did you catch that?
And Earth is not a member of the Federation.
Oh, they were definitely not right now. No, we're skeptical outsiders because we like to blow things up and y'all don't. Not enough. I don't know why. Just Are you trying to say something to us? It's like,
Well, the dude with the
tattoo
on his forehead,
Tarka,
who I don't know his name because I don't know his name. He
That's
just wants to blow the thing up. So he made the most sense. He made the most sense.
Interesting character. Don't like him.
This isolated weapon that they're talking about was heard in Insurrection. TNG's Star Trek Insurrection. They're bringing back old tech that it was like theorized about. And we'll see. But where Picard falls in love with the ageless woman, it was like this Tuck Everlasting thing.
The people who's the melty face people and the clone,
and they're the same people that left
the other people.
Okay.
Versus the people that stayed on the planet. They're the same people. They just, okay. Spoiler
with the nice
Insurrection,
nice face,
30-year-old movie.
Yes.
If
so
you like
same text from
don't
there.
leave home. No.
Okay.
They're borrowing from the canon. They're just not using it well. Like same with Adira and Gray. There are undertones there of transgender support and that gender is a spectrum. Those are interesting points, but they just threw them out there and stuck them on the wall. They didn't really do anything to develop the characters or develop an ethos around what they're supposed to represent.
Right. All we see is, and it just gets on my nerves, I'm just supposed to look at them and how happy they are.
Yes,
it's just a lot of smiley stuff. And it's like, I don't want your smiley stuff. Say something.
Well, Adira is at least doing work for Starfleet. I don't know that Gray has utility to the plot line, so they're kind of moving Gray off. Yeah, I just want them to do more with their story or a lot less. Pick one.
They're trying to have the impact of Kirk and Uhura kissing. Like that first interracial kiss on TV, they're going for a moment like that, and they just can't find it.
I would argue that the 24% on Rotten Tomatoes is the response from some lesser evolved members of the fan community, you don't get down that low.
Mm-hmm.
Having this strong of a cast, these strong performances, the visual effects, it's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
That has, some writing issues. I'll agree.
It's a
But
good show,
24% is
Julia.
ridiculous.
It's just I need these stories to be wrapped up or do something with them because it's just too feel goody. It's just that's not what Star Trek was. Just
as a
feel
sci-fi
goody.
show, this one is very much concerned with the feelings of the crew. I've been surprised by how much they're willing to do. Sometimes pleasantly, sometimes not as much. Like Culber having that, basically, if you're a therapist, you have your own therapist.
Right.
Meeting.
Like you.
With Kovacs, like, yeah, I got about 8 minutes. Go. I enjoyed that scene so much. It's like, well, if you know what you need to do, why am I here? You replace me with a rubber duck and talk out your problems. You know what you got to do. Bye.
And that's why
And
when
like,
Zora was looking at, they were looking at her dreams, and it's just all these, moments. It's like that's why she's crazy, because that's not real.
That's not the whole story with this crew. You seen these people do all sorts of stuff, and you're like, yep, this is fine. Like, really? It's not. It's not.
But that's just, just do something with them.
Can they ever have a season where the world isn't blowing up?
Okay, so
can we just have a normal war?
Could be better. The world doesn't blow up.
Basically,
a literal planet. What was it, 5 light years wide? I'm like, that's outrageous. No, come on.
I just don't want the legacy of the Black woman to be everywhere she goes. There is catastrophic chaos that is destroying the universe.
And for the first 3 seasons, it was her causing it.
Right. Now it's just following her.
I do think they rely on Michael Burnham is the key to everything all the time, including like 3 times this season. No one else could have done it but Michael Burnham. It's like, it's a good thing she's here. Like, you have an entire crew on that ship. Can it be Saru's turn to save the day? Tilly, maybe?
No.
Tilly did have one episode this season where it was her turn to save the day, and then she promptly disappeared forever.
Did she lose somebody? Didn't one of them kids?
She lost one person on that away mission. We didn't really.
Right. One of them kids died.
So much. I mean, you might have noticed that when they
it was a school trip
with a sheet
and a
was
kid
just like,
died, and then they offered her a teaching job.
Well, she didn't kill him. Look, she was sorry. They wrote a nice note to the kid's family, I guess, off screen, because they didn't spend 2 seconds telling you what his name was, if he had a roommate,
Nothing.
his parents, what he did for a living. He was cadet to die number 1.
and that is the difference. I still remember when the crystalline entity came down and Riker was with the terraformers. Her name was Carmen. The one who died. Carmen, okay? And she was going to share a bottle of wine and some curry with Riker in his tent. Okay? I remember her name. I have no idea who died on that field trip.
What scene were you envisioning when they got back to that tent? Because it kept that detail for you. I don't.
Whatever that was, the writers of Star Trek Discovery need to tap into that, and that's what could be better.
they have a phenomenal cast at their disposal and apparently unending dollars because everybody got new uniforms this season.
So,
And the effects still look great.
Tony, so you are behind on Star Trek Discovery.
I
So,
wonder how far behind is behind. Because
yeah,
the
tell
shows
us.
this season just jump right in. You don't have to see much of anything. All you need to know is they jump to the future. They previously saved the entire universe a couple times, but people don't reference it much.
No, this season isn't depending upon anything that happened last season.
It's kind of dependent more upon things that have happened in the entire history of the show. So, you get the Archer space station.
Oh, you
Season
only
one.
finished season one.
Ooh,
Okay, skip season two.
you're gonna want, yeah.
See three if you have time, and then jump into four. You could skip two altogether.
Is there anything that happens in season two you need to see? I don't know
No.
necessarily. And if you're gonna keep watching the show,
transforms.
You
that's
said what?
season one. Everything happened in season one. It was so ridiculous.
Really? Was that season one? I thought it only came
Yeah.
out in season two.
No, that was season
I
one.
thought they played with him all season one and then kept the Klingons in season two. I can't remember. It's not the only reason I still watch Discovery is because Sunil Martin Green. I love to support a black female captain, but I'm not invested anymore. I just watch it and it will never be my TNG.
No,
Oh well, no,
it
it's not gonna
won't.
be that.
But you know what? It won't be Enterprise. It won't be Enterprise.
That is
I
such
do
a
need to
low
watch
bar.
Enterprise.
I'm gonna say that.
I mean,
Look, a lot of people like Enterprise. I don't know what you guys are upset about.
Enterprise would have been canceled by now. Season 4.
Well,
That's it.
Like I
well,
did watch a few episodes of Enterprise recently, and I found myself going, they should put the Vulcan in charge and eject everyone else out the airlock. But that's me. They might have to construct an airlock, but it would be my first order of business. It's like, oh no.
oh,
But I mean, it's
Tony,
about that.
Tony, you watching Enterprise?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think I've watched maybe the first 5 or 6 episodes. I'm going to try and get my way through it.
Well, where are you watching it? It's pulled from Netflix, and it's not even on Amazon Prime. Voyager is going away from Amazon Prime, or it left December 31st. But
Are they not on
Paramount? Everything is on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
including
probably,
the cartoons.
But I have to tell you,
the animated series.
Yeah. No. The new animated series with Nickelodeon. I watched episode 1, The Prodigy. I like that they found something for Kate Mulgrew to do. Captain Janeway. But she's really a hologram.
Yes.
But
she's
sentient.
Prodigy's good though.
It is good. I like Prodigy.
I've watched all of Prodigy and I'm happy with it. I do hate one character in particular, which is a problem because he's very relevant. But I assume
the main little purple boy.
Oh my god!
No, he's
who has no species. Do we know?
I want to strangle him. We do not.
He doesn't know.
That's the point.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he is. But it's
good.
Good.
Annoying.
It's good and it's cute. And I had my niece who doesn't watch Star Trek or anything like that, and I had it on. And she looked up, and then she kept looking. So whatever they're doing to capture the younger audience, they're meeting it because she was paying attention.
Did you see the newest episode since they came back?
I have not. She also recognized the voice of that main character that's on another show. So whoever's doing this, they knew what they were doing because she was invested because she likes that actor. Yeah. Okay. For just the first part of the season.
So for the first half, I am going to give it a 4. I like this. Finally, they've given Discovery a chance to tell its own stories, and they jumped and kind of broken away from everything that was the prior showrunners and whatever baggage they were bringing to the show. Uh, it is still recognizably Discovery. It has some of its prior issues, but I think they're doing a better job overall. Even if they're not giving all the characters development, they're doing character development, and I like most of what they've done. I could do with less of the computer, but
The computer's gonna kill him.
oh, that's just in my gritty Star Trek reboot. The computer's alive and coming for you. Did you sleep?
There's always.
You're gonna wake up in the holodeck on a facsimile of the ship. It's like
It's never a good idea.
I...
Never a good idea. Julia, what's your score?
No, I think I gave last season a 2. I think it deserved it. I will give
It's a little harsh.
this season so far. I can't pull any punches with it. I will give this season a 3.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it because
Yeah.
there's so much
This,
book?
in comparison,
Right.
this and because you got book.
Right. That's what we said.
Yeah, is that okay? Yes,
Yeah.
you know.
Like
That's where my mind is.
like if you lose people and you go through a bunch of pain, you start understanding what they're trying to depict. I think they're doing a really good job of it with book this season. They've dwelled on it a long time because it turns out the entire plot hinges on how Book is feeling and what he's
Right.
going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see a very large explosion in our future.
The computer's gonna kill this Discovery. I would give this season. I'm gonna say a 3 for the first half of the season, only because I'm just tired of the kids and not knowing who else anybody else is.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that
What
the
do you think is
crew.
going to happen in the second half of the season?
I think in the second half of the season, oh Tony, close your ears. The computer's gonna blow them up. I'm just kidding. I don't know, but the
All I can
computer's
think
gonna
is
get them.
consequences. Consequences are coming in the second half of the season. There's a lot of setup in this first half. I don't know what the stakes are exactly.
Mhm.
All I know is you're poking an invisible bear you can't even see. You're like, what?
But
The
I
only thing
think
you know about him is it's a bear, a really big one.
right, and they've got all the elements now of an excellent show. It's just a few tweaks here and there with the rest of the cast because that's what makes it a family. But this saying that you're a family that don't mean anything because I don't know your name. You're expendable until we know what you all have red shirts on until we know what your name is.
Why do you know more about Michelle Yeoh's character, who's not even in this season, than you do about Bryce, who's been in every season?
Yes.
That's your question.
And I miss her.
It's showing
I
about
miss
Bryce.
her.
It's not
Where's
about
her
Reese.
spinoff? Isn't that coming? Did that
Maybe,
get tabled?
But,
Section,
not necessarily. It's just a lot of COVID
Section 31?
stuff.
Yeah, I think she's in it, but yeah.
That and it's got to wait behind Strange New Worlds and whatever else they got going on. It takes forever to do the Nickelodeon show, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's another reason why Discovery needs to pull it up because I have a feeling that Strange New Worlds is going to come out and it's going to take off and be excellent. I just have a feeling. Anson Mount.
It has that potential.
I feel like, Captain Pike, that those stories are just going to be like, mwah! And we're like, Discovery, get yourself together.
I would even argue Lower Decks is doing great things. I don't know if y'all watching it, but it's really good.
I love Lower Decks. It's funny.
I guess
Just
the ultimate question is, if the title of this show didn't have Star Trek in it, would we have held on so long?
I'd still be
Would
watching
we
it. I'd
still
love
be
sci-fi.
watching?
I'd still be watching.
I don't know that I would.
I'll probably would.
It,
This, I tell you what,
A
though,
show where a black lady is the captain, yeah, I'd be watching.
yeah, definitely. But this
If they had
season,
reboot this show into Sequest, I'd freaking be watching.
oh, Tony, should they reboot the original? No,
That's
don't touch
basically
the
what they're
original
doing
series.
with Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I think
Don't
that's the
touch the
only
canon.
way. That's the only way that they can
I mean-
go back to that material, is to bring Pike in, and
You're getting
You know.
Pike, you're getting the Enterprise, you're getting Spock. It's enough that it's basically
Yeah.
a reboot.
but
of
this season of Discovery feels more like The Expanse than I ever thought that it would, including the dude with the tattoo on his forehead. He was in The Expanse.
oh, was he?
Yes. And I hated his character on that. It's like, that's why I had super shade when he was on there. It's like, what are you doing back? Wait a minute, this is a whole different show. That's
Now I
when I
have to
clicked.
think, because The Expanse is so expansive.
Mhm.
It's like, who was that guy on that show?
But it's huge.
don't
It's
know.
cataclysmic, world-changing events on
All the
Expanse.
time.
All the time, and a core group of people that you can depend on to be in all of those important places. Discovery this season feels very much like The Expanse.
More believable for Discovery. They're the only ones who have the spore drive. They can be anywhere, anytime, and they're the only ones who can operate it. So
Yeah. Okay.
it makes sense. But they don't play nearly enough with how out of date they should all be. It's been how long
Right.
since they jumped to the future? How does anybody even understand them? Can you imagine trying to communicate with somebody?
Wait a minute. My last point. Adira was talking to the computer and asked a rhetorical question. I meant that rhetorically. You wouldn't know what that was. You wouldn't be talking to a computer like that, because in the future,
That computer has...
children have a completely different relationship with computers. You know that she's going to not understand what you're saying. My mother figured that out. She's 90 years old with Siri. You need to be specific.
Siri doesn't have thousands of years of data like the sphere data does, now that it's a entity named Zora. And I'm not super happy with the Zora storyline. I gotta
I'm
say,
not happy with that at all.
I did think Stamets' part in the Zora storyline was excellent. I thought he did a great job performing it.
Yeah.
And it is what a character with his mindset would say.
See,
And then they kind of papered over some Star Trek.
I was so tired of seeing the kids. I have images of them, and I didn't even show them because I'm so.
You didn't show any images of anybody.
did.
You said who's who, and you showed no pictures.
I did. Oh, I got Tilly. Tilly looking like something is wrong. That's when she was, yeah. But anyway, so we will reconvene with the next set of episodes and the final part of season 4, which comes back on February 10th.
I just remember who Tarka was. In The Expanse, yeah, he was a jerk.
the same jerky.
Aaron, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, oh god, that guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Here's
Too
how
many
behind I am.
comparisons.
I am not up. I haven't seen a single episode of The Expanse this season. And
Well,
I
there's
love
only
The Expanse.
6. There's only 6.
I love The Expanse,
And
I haven't seen a single episode yet.
Marcus, you need to catch up because
I'm behind. I'm so busy. When we get off this, I'm gonna be some work and some more.
Oh my god. Okay, so Marcus, what are you doing? You can't tell us.
I cannot tell you. Just know that it is worth it.
Okay.
I'm considering whether or not to do a discount salmon reprint since we're out. I get emails every now and then like, yeah, I want to buy this game, but you don't have any. I'm like, yeah, I know. You want to give me $8 and I need 10,000 salmon.
I don't have discount salmon. That's the only one I don't have.
How do you not have that?
Because I got bees and the other one.
You missed your chance.
I know. Did y'all like the fashion storyline, Ruthless Tilly?
Yes. So we're going back in time to the Mirror Universe stuff they explored a bit in season 1 and a lot in season 2. Was that season 2?
They run into each other.
I think it's season 2.
I don't know. 2 they do a lot of the Mirror Universe stuff, but okay.
Yeah, and
they did a lot in season 1.
If you skip the next season, it doesn't really matter because we don't go back there.
But the Mirror Universe is kind of interesting. Like, they never did it for TNG. The show was just too bright. I don't know. They did it a little bit. They did it a little bit in DS9. Not much.
Oh, they did 4 episodes in the Mirror Universe.
Mm-hmm.
In DS9, which I all like Through the Looking Glass, all those like I avoid like the plague. Like I enjoyed the Mirror Universe more in Discovery, basically because of Michelle Yeoh. Like anything that I had seen, Spock in the mustache in TOS, and Cisco like being Kira's love slave, like I wasn't buying that, or Cisco and Dax together. No, I didn't enjoy that.
I think the Mirror Universe is just them getting to have fun with their actors, but like the Mirror Universe itself doesn't hold up to scrutiny. How would that society work over a long period of time? Like 6 months. It'd be too much murder. It's just like they couldn't possibly function.
They'd all be dead already.
Yes.
Michelle Yeoh would be the only one on the ship.
Oh, there was an attempted coup? Well, here are the comm badges of the 12 people responsible. It's like, you'd have been better off just leaving. Like, oh, well. It doesn't hold up to scrutiny, but it is sure a lot of fun to show on screen, to have your actors have those kind of moments where it's like, oh yeah, sure, we'll just kill off half the cast this episode, it's fine.
You know what? Discovery needs a Tribbles episode.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say, no, it doesn't. And Marcus, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Marcus Ross and at Waterbear Games. If you're needing more than that, good luck.
Okay, Julia.
You can find me on Twitter at JJParker00.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. Why didn't I know that?
It's the same across all platforms.
The House of Afros, Capes, and Curls, afroscapescurls.com everywhere. House AfroCon on it's the same. You will be seeing some things in social media that are our suggestions of what we are watching, since we have this rotating panel of such busy people now, and we're not even talking about individual episodes anymore. We still want to be able to tell people what we're watching, so we will be making some suggestions of what we're watching. Tony, I saw that you said that you were watching Wheel of Time. It's so good.
It's on the list.
It's so good.
On the list.
I will add one because I'm in love with it right now. It's a little different, sort of. 1883. It's a Western. I absolutely am in love with 1883.
We know you love a good Western.
Love it. Is it though? Are you talking about Wheel of Time? It is. It is so good. Julia watched it. She doesn't take all of my suggestions.
I know this was one of the best suggestions. It's good.
And I said I stayed away because you what?
I haven't given into Foundations yet.
You should. You should. If you like Yellowstone, you're gonna love 1883 because it's the prequel, basically. It's good. All right. So next week we will be talking about finally saw it, Spider-Man, No Way Home. That's right, right? Yeah, No Way Home. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that next Monday. So get ready.
I got some feels about that, Jade. I'm ready for it.
You got feels about Spider-Man?
Yes. Peter Parker, my long lost cousin, like he has gone astray.
Oh my God. Okay. On that note, we'll see you next Monday with more commentary about Spider-Man No Way Home. Have an excellent week.